Hi everyone, it's Gene Calderon here with Gene Calderon Apologetics Ministries, coming to you today with another theme day teaching. As we know, every day of the week has a different theme. Today being Wednesday, we are going to focus on Worship Wednesday. We're going to take a look at worship. What is worship? How do we worship? Why do we worship? If you've missed some of these, you can look back at the playlist. We do have some playlists on our YouTube channel, but really want to get into understanding worship. It's more than just singing songs, dancing, waving flags, or any of the emotional kind of things that come with worship. Okay, now notice I'm not denying it. I said it comes with it, but we want to try to understand what is worship. And one of the things I wanted to consider today is the idea or the picture that we usually have about how much satisfaction the heavenly creatures, such as the seraphim, the cherubim, the angels, the archangels, and all of the heavenly hosts around the throne of God, notice how satisfied that they are being around the throne of God. In fact, we do get one of the images that we look at is in the book of Isaiah. The prophet Isaiah wrote in chapter 6, verse 3, that they were calling to one another, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. The whole earth is full of his glory." Now, we don't know too much about these heavenly creatures, but we do get references about them. And every time we do, they're these magnificent beings. And as great as they are, they take great joy and pleasure in being around the throne of God. And so we should be impressed by their own attitude of even exalted worship to God himself. They are close to the throne and they burn with an overwhelming love for God. And they threw themselves into these shared chants of just holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. Now, the word holy is more than just an adjective to describe God. It actually does have a meaning, okay? And the meaning isn't that God is just so good and so perfect and so things like that, but it gives us a reference to that triune God in the sense that he is set apart. He is something so special that he does not even compare to anything else. And that's what holy means. It comes from the same root word that we get for sanctification or separation. That whole idea that God is just something beyond anything we could ever experience or know fully. And we are totally impressed by that. That God is holy. Wow, he's an amazing God. And one of the things is that complete moral purity. He is just completely and all good. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had anything that you notice like this is better than anything I've ever had. This is beyond good. And you can maybe see that with music, see that with a movie, find that with food. But can you imagine that just in an entire entity, a being of itself, completely just magnificently good beyond anything that's what God is. That's what we talk about when God is holy, just beyond anything we could ever hope to imagine. That's what God is. So much of our problem is that in our fellowship and in our worship with a holy God is that we usually start to, I don't know how we do it, we start to focus only on what we do and what we are. I mean, how can you, in the presence of all of the things that are good beyond everything we could ever hope for, everything we could ever desire is right there in our presence, and yet sometimes in worship when we disconnect, I want to focus on me. We kind of miss out on that. How do we get to that part? We have to humbly and willfully be willing to open up our hearts to that. Forget about self. It's not about me right now, right? It's all about him. I need to open my heart and plead with God to shine his own love and his heart and his being into our lives so that I could experience just a taste of that holiness that God is. Because we will never be able to find him otherwise. If we close ourselves out, if I only think about me and what I do and who I am going to miss out on so much more. And so when we come to worship, let's have that attitude. Let's remember who God is. Let's keep that word holy in that worship that we come in, worshiping a holy, separate, completely different, but magnificent God that we worship. So keep that in mind whenever you are singing and worshiping and dancing and emotionally crying out. That's all great. That's fine. But let's keep it in the context of why we're doing it. It's because the being before us that we are worshiping is so much more than we can even comprehend at this point. I hope this helps you. Again, this is Gene Calderon with Gene Calderon Apologetics Ministries. Keep in mind, I do serve at Ratio Christi over at Purdue University Northwest. So if you know any students who are interested in apologetics and in developing their faith and being able to defend their faith in a winsome and loving way with friends and others, that's what we do on campus. or I'm serving at Freedom Church in East Chicago, Indiana, Bible studies, worship time, or again, just continue to like this page, subscribe, and you'll be able to catch up on all of the theme days and teaching videos that we do post here on YouTube. Thanks again for watching. God bless you, and I hope to see you again soon.